but I would always just as soon look at her as talk to her. She had been gone a long time. Betty smiled and showed all her teeth. I watched her drink coffee for a while after that. She held her finger out like the Queen always did, and she was so pretty that she looked like a real princess. Of course, I thought, because after all, she's the Queen's daughter. Betty had been gone for so long that I hadn't known, but now that she was back, I knew it was right, that Betty had been the princess all along. Betty even had long yellow hair to hang out of towers, and it made me happy to sit and look at the sunlight on her hair and on my 17 post toasties. Daddy came in and talked to us, but none of us said anything much to the rest of us. That's one of the rules. You have to be quiet when you wait for queens. There are a lot of rules to know about queens and how to act, and that's one of them. While we waited, I squiggled my toes up and down to make them fast and big. Then the Queen came. "Aren't you sweet?" she asked. "Aren't you sweet to wait for me?" I would wait any morning, I thought, because meals, like breakfast, are just about the only time you see queens. "I would like some post toasties this morning," she said to Elsie May. "Perhaps they will make me healthy and young and gay, like Susan." She nodded at my post toasties, which I was liking a lot by that time. "Is Susan gay?" asked Betty, putting her cup down, clunk. "I never noticed Susan being particularly gay." "Oh, maybe she's not," laughed the Queen. Her laugh ran up and down, dancing, like Miss Hawthorne, my old piano teacher, when she did scales. The Queen laughed like fairy music. "Perhaps Susan isn't gay." She laughed again, tinkle, tinkle. "I don't know. She may even be somber. I declare I don't know where she got it. Certainly not from me." She wore the pink robe with the roses, and she and Betty smiled at each other. Elsie May went away, back into the kitchen, and I watched them. Mostly I watched the Queen. She was like that butterfly I saw one time at the science fair when Miss Little took our whole class, or the red flower in Mrs. Tate's garden that I don't know the name of, or anything bright and quick. Her hands were the best of all. They were very white, with red on the ends of the fingers, and long. They were always moving, fluttering like the birds in the trees beyond our field. They were like those birds, only prettier. I felt very lucky. Not everyone has a queen, but she was a real queen, all right. She was everything she should be. The Queen had a princess, and she had a court. The court was the pretty people who would come sometimes to the castle, or sometimes the Queen would go with them. I looked at them from the stairs when they were at the castle. They glittered and glittered. They were always laughing, and they loved the Queen. There was even a baron in the court. He was big and tall, and I liked him the best. At first I had hated him when he started coming to the castle all the time. I thought the Queen liked him more than us, and she did. But then I figured out he was a baron, and so it was all right. Barons and princesses and queens have other rules from the rest of people. His hair was black and silver, his eyes were very dark, and you could just look at him and tell how brave he was. He galloped everywhere on a great black horse, and his spurs were red with blood. The castle was big and old, with a royal park in front and yellow roses. It was just like the ones in all the books, except it had columns instead of turrets. The Queen had her chambers, and they were exactly right. She had 3 chambers for herself. They were blue and white, and they always smelled like the Queen. Sometimes I went to them when she wasn't there, and everything in them was part of her. Elsie May was the handmaiden. That's why Elsie May's shoes were so nice. Daddy didn't live there because he wasn't the king. He was on the floor under, in his own room, and another room with a desk and a little fireplace. He didn't have a crown, or a throne, or a scepter. There was no part of him that you could believe was anything but what it was. It used to worry me a lot when I was little, Daddy not being the king. But when I got to be 8 and 5 months, I stopped worrying. I knew by then. Queens are different, and if you're around one, you must always go by Queen rules. That morning, it was a Tuesday or a Thursday, and now I forget which, was very nice. I could see all the little turning pieces of dust in the sunlight. That made the sun seem solid, and I knew then that summer had really started, and I thought what a good summer it would be. "What are you going to do today?" asked the Queen. "Just stuff," I said. "See?" said the Queen, excited with jumping eyes. "See? What do they do, I wonder?" "Oh, they have a good time," said Daddy. "They find plenty of things to do. There are a lot of children around here to play with. You have a good time, don't you, Susan?" "Yes," I said. Elsie May came in and took away my 17 post toasties, and I thought that I would go also. When I stood up, I felt like I should say something, but I couldn't think of anything smart enough to say. "I'm a real good speller," I said, mostly to the princess. "I guess you don't know, since you've been over in France, Europe. This summer I'm learning a word a day. Yesterday I learned hyacinth. 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 It's a flower. Sarah Dell has some in her yard." "Good heavens," said the Queen. "Jesus," said the princess. She laughed, and they all laughed. They thought it was pretty funny, I guess, and Daddy said, "That's very good, Susan." "Thank you," I said. "Hyacinth," said the Queen. "Hyacinth, hyacinth, hyacinth." It was like a little song the way she said it, and at the end she laughed. I stood in the door and looked back at them. The Queen and the princess were talking and being royal, like they should be, and Daddy was smiling at me with his eyes. 1 minute more, and then I went upstairs and put on my tennis shoes so I wouldn't get bee-stung when I went outside. You have to be careful about things like that. I went down through the kitchen and sat on the kitchen steps. They are a fun place to sit, because then you can be inside at the same time you are outside. Until you get up, that is. Then you're outside for good. Summer was hot and green, going out in front of me as far as I could think of, and I couldn't make up my mind what to do first. A bug landed on my right tennis shoe, and I caught it with my hand, but I got very scared. I let it go. I decided to go sit under the dog bushes for a while, and then go down to the waiting house. I stood up just when Gregory came along. Gregory was always coming along when you were standing up to go someplace. He lived on the other side of the road from me in a nice house which used to be a barn before Gregory's mother got hold of it. It was a good barn, too. "Hi, Susan," said Gregory. "What are you doing?" "What do you think I'm doing?" I said. "I'm standing here talking to you, stupid." Then I hated myself. Gregory always made me hate myself because I was so ugly to him. I couldn't help it. Gregory was skinny and very white, and he jerked around a lot. "Oh," he said in this little high voice of his, "do you want to go over to Robert's with me?" "No," I said. We stood there for a while, not saying anything, and Gregory was white in the sunlight. "Where'd you get that cat?" I asked him. Gregory had a very nice cat with him. "Mama just bought it," he said. "What's its name?" "Anna Karen," he said, or something like that. "What a dumb name," I told him. "What do you want to go and give a poor cat a name like that for?" "I didn't do it, Mother did it," said Gregory. He got a little red in the face and wobbled his arms around. "It's named for a Russian lady Mama told me about, who got killed when a train ran over her. That's how much you know about anything." Gregory was mad. He walked off, and the cat went after him. I liked that cat a whole lot more after I knew about the Russian lady and the train. I wondered why she didn't run when she saw that train coming at her. I walked down the hill, past the white picnic table and the swings that we were too big for by then, to the dog bushes, which grew all along the fence at the very back of our yard. I went on my hands and knees, way under the nicest one, to the place where I always sat. I looked out between the green leaves. I could see everything, but nothing could see me. I laughed some, all to myself. The air smelled growing and sweet because the dog bushes were in bloom. They had pink flowers that only bloomed in the summertime. The flowers didn't look like dogs or anything. The dog bushes I called dog bushes because one time when I was 7 and 1 month, I found a dog under the ones along the middle of the fence. It was half collie and half something else, and it was very sick. Sarah Dell and I kept it at her house. It was our dog together. We fed it soup